r/AskReddit. What is something perfectly legal that feels illegal? Having something of yours in your pocket while in a store that also sells that thing. I once brought in with me a bottle of water and got hassled for it, and I was buying other items. So yeah, I really needed to steal that 30-cent bottle of water. Anyway, they checked the cameras and apologized rather unenthusiastically. Edit. To all the people asking me about the 30-cent water, I live in Eastern Europe. Thus the low price of water and the moody condescending retail workers. As for the legal point of view, they didn't at any point detain me. One cashier stayed with me at the register, while another went to check the cameras. Of course I could have walked away, but I went there almost every day and felt like I should stay and clear things up. After a while I heard from some people that at that same store, they walked in with some sodas, half empty, and the cashier tried to take it out of their hands and scan it. I guess it's their thing. Taking a free sample of food when walking past a food vendor. Obviously they're offering it for free and obviously there are no laws being broken. But I just cannot help but feel guilty, so I stand there after eating said sample and pretend to deliberate if I plan to purchase a meal there or not before slowly walking away once I've lost the attention of the guy handing out the samples. They don't care. I don't think they're looking to make a profit on the stand for the day. They're trying to get their product into as many hands as possible to hopefully have a small percentage success rate of lifetime customers. Adjusting your penis when it gets scrunched up against your inner thigh on an airplane. Taking somebody else's full cart of food at the grocery store. You can literally take anything from anybody's cart before paying. Taking many napkins from a cafe restaurant and pocketing them to use as tissues. Pro tip: Starbucks and Chipotle have the best ones. McDonald's can be rough on the nose. My husband is obsessed with the high quality of the Chipotle forks. He keeps a bunch in his car for fork emergencies. And reading most all of a book in a bookstore and then putting it back on the shelf. When I owned a used bookstore, I had several reading nooks with side tables, lamps, and big comfy chairs just for this. Using a VPN. Maybe not illegal exactly, but I definitely feel a little shady about it. Calling a teacher by their first name. Like it's not illegal but it's illegal. Accidentally calling a teacher mom or dad. Doing anything but in sight of a police car. They pull up behind me and I'm suddenly running a list in my head of all the illegal things I might have done. Registration, up to date. Car inspection, up to date. Am I drunk? No, you actually don't drink. Hi, not today. Weed, safely hidden at home. Driving when near a cop. Everyone in front of me feels the same way. Speed limit of 80. Everyone cruising at 85. Cop passes. Lights off. Everyone shows down to 75. Walking driving around a legal recreation state fully aware of the weed I just bought, my dab pen, and a new bong in my backseat uncovered and perfectly safe from being arrested for any of those. Still can't get over it, lol. Trying to lockpick my own house cause I can't find my key. Walking through nothing to declare at the airport and having a nagging concern that just maybe you managed to pack 5 kilos of cocaine, a handgun, several tons of pest-infested fruit and 2,000 cigarettes over the tobacco limit. It's always a gamble, but I've been lucky so far. Tipping off a few bananas before you buy them from the grocery store if you don't want the whole bundle. Turning the light on inside the car when you're driving. I called my mom out when I realized recently it's not illegal. You lied to me. You know what this woman says? Are you sure? My mom always told me it was illegal. 53 years my mother believed her mother's lie and passed it on to her kids. 53 years. My little brother is the type of guy to crack open a Gatorade to quench his thirst, browse around the store and then check out the empty Gatorade bottle at the end. My mom did that with ice cream when we were kids, so we'd have our sweets and shut up about wanting anything else. She'd place the empty wraps on the belt for checkout. Cashiers never had a problem with it as long as the barcode was intact, and some other parents actually liked the idea. Ice cream equals best pacifier in a store full of sweets. Filling out government forms. I answer honestly, but constantly feel like I'm going to misinterpret a question and somehow commit some manner of bureaucratic felony. Edit. Damn. Thanks for the upvotes and the metal. Mysterious benefactors. Driving 250 plus kilometers per hour on the German autobahn, especially when crossing the border from another country, and you can drive so much faster that you're used to from the country you made holiday in. The autobahn is ducking terrifying. I remember when my ex let me drive her car for a while. I pulled out to pass someone just as I noticed a BMW in the rearview mirror. By the time I'd pulled back over into the slow lane, it had already gone flying past me. Truly insane speed. It felt like I'd stumbled onto a Formula 1 track by accident. Going into Costco, eating all the free samples, then walking out. It's legal, but I feel like a scumbag when I do it, LMAO. That's probably how they want you to feel, so you feel obligated to buy something. Taking more than one free sample. I always make sure to bring my fake mustache and hat. The Yellowstone Zone of Death is the name given to the 50 square mi, 129.50 km2, Idaho section of Yellowstone National Park, in which, as a result of a loophole in the Constitution of the United States, a criminal could theoretically get away with any crime, up to and including murder. Wikipedia. Going through a metal detector always gives me anxiety, even though I usually have nothing to hide. Going into a store to use the restroom without buying anything. An 18-year-old marrying a 70-year-old. Walking around naked in Alabama. I shit you not, it's actually legal. Whoa, I gotta try that. I would, but I DK how I'd hide my erection. Buying alcohol for the first time when you turn 21. In the UK you have to be 18 to legally drink alcohol, so when I turned 18 back in 2014 I bought my first pint but felt like I was going to court drinking underage despite having a provisional driver's license. Cannibalism, if I am not mistaken. You are not. In the US you can consume someone's flesh as long as they consent. Expressing my opinion on Reddit. I disagree. Walk into an Ulta Beauty store and spraying some expensive cologne from the tester bottle before going to your interview. Update. No, I don't overdo it. I like light smells. Too heavy and I get a headache as well. Something that's fresh because I want to feel like a new car going into an interview or a date or wherever I have that's somewhat important or gives a good first impression. I once went into Ulta and left with a full face of makeup from trying new things. I didn't buy anything and probably would have felt guilty, but I was tipsy. Existing within the presence of a cop. Bringing home a newborn infant. Edit. First gold. Thanks, stranger. But the catch is that it's gotta be yours, right? Just making sure. Walking out from a shop without buying anything. For real, the worst thing for me is when I spend 10 plus minutes in a store looking for one thing and one thing only to find they do not have it, so I end up buying at least a soda. IDKY. It's like I know I've done nothing wrong, but I have some weird fear of being accused. Drinking Pepsi in a Coke glass. This isn't my original idea, but going through customs at the airport you always feel like you've done something wrong, like what if I accidentally have a gun? I don't even own a gun, but what if I accidentally have a gun? How would I explain that? Having sex with animals, legal in 11 states in the US. Wait, people do that? Joining a cult, starting a cult, stockpiling firearms as a cult. Basically the entire r/unethical life pro tips subreddit. Having a tank as your personal vehicle. Just buy one with a credit card. Don't worry about paying it off. They won't go after someone with a tank. Nobody will. Calling a guy daddy when we duck. Calling my wife daddy when we duck. Drinking a beer on the street in New Orleans. Telling the Walmart greeter no when he asks to see my receipt. Connecting Lego flat pieces sideways. Marrying someone for their money. Then divorcing them and taking almost everything. Marrying your first cousin.